It was a dark and stormy night, and I was driving home. I was tired. It had been a long and stressful day, and maybe I was going just a little bit too fast when all of a sudden, bam! I hit something in the road, probably a pothole. A few moments later, I heard that dreaded sound, dun, 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 dun. So of course I pulled over into a safe location, got out of the car, turned around. Of course I had a flat tire. I looked across the street and I saw a solution. It was the Dairy Queen. You see, my brain said to me, Erika, you have a flat tire. You need ice cream. So I go into the Dairy Queen and I get my favorite dessert there. It's a peanut butter parfait with extra whipped cream, and I'm eating the peanut butter parfait, and my brain says to me, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But by the time I was staring at the bottom of that ice cream container, and I looked outside, my tire was still flat. So I called my brother-in-law. He used to work at one of those tire places, and he just happened to be right around the corner, so he came over and switched out that tire. And it wasn't until I was driving off the lot that I actually felt better. You see, ice cream doesn't fix a flat tire. As a matter of fact, the only thing that fixes a flat tire is a new tire. And that ice cream, it actually made things worse, because not only was I feeling guilty, but I had actually delayed the reunion with my family. So my message to you today is the following. Your brain does not need that ice cream, that food. It just wants to feel better. So I'm going to share with you 3 things. The first thing is, if my brain doesn't need that food, then why am I always thinking about it? The second, how to know if you're hungry. And the third, what to do instead. So the first, if my brain doesn't need that food, then why does the idea of food pop up in my brain? Well, the reason is primarily because of conditioning. When we're little, we fall down and skin our knee, and our mom gives us a cookie. Later on, when our bunny goes to heaven, we go out for ice cream. Our brain learns. We actually train our brain to learn. Feel bad? Ice cream. Now, as we get older, of course, our problems are a little more complex, not quite as easily solved with ice cream, and they're not quite as easy as a skinned knee or even a flat tire. And so this is what happens. We have something like maybe a sick parent in the hospital, perhaps a child who's struggling in school, financial obligations that we can't meet, or maybe just a really stressful job. So what happens is you wake up in the morning with really good intentions. Today is going to be the day. Today is going to be the day that I eat healthy and I've got my healthy lunch packed. Today is going to be the day that I go to the gym. I've got my gym clothes in the car. But guess what happens by the end of the day? There you are, once again at that drive-thru, staring at the bottom of an ice cream container thinking, why do I keep doing this? What's wrong with me? You see, there's something in that ice cream, an ingredient that you might not be aware of. And it's called guilty residue. You see, when we're eating that ice cream, we feel good for a couple minutes. But a few hours later, we feel bad. We often feel worse about ourselves at that time. And so that ice cream, it actually facilitates the painful cycle of emotional eating, because when we think, I don't feel good, I ate too much ice cream, guess what happens? Ice cream. Thankfully, I know a better way. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to eat only when you are actually hungry. So you're probably wondering, how do I eat only when I'm actually hungry? Well, I would like to introduce to you the broccoli test. What is the broccoli test? Well, the broccoli test goes like this. Imagine you're standing there looking at the back of the fridge, staring at some donuts in the break room. I want you to do the following. Ask yourself, Am I actually hungry? Would I eat broccoli? If you would, eat something healthy. That means you're hungry. Eat something healthy, something that you can be proud of, something that you will be happy about later. And if you're not hungry, you have to do something else. And this is where most people make the mistake, because what a lot of people will do, they will close that fridge, recognize they're not hungry, and guess what they do? They go back to work. 5 minutes later, there they are once again looking at that refrigerator, looking for something to eat, right? So you have to do something else. Your brain doesn't need that ice cream. It wants to feel better. Your brain needs a break. It needs a break from the stress, from the frustration, from the chaos of everyday living. And you don't really have to do that much. You can go on a walk. You can paint. You can sing. Personally, I like to dance. I listen to music and I dance around in my kitchen with my cute little dog. We have a blast. So I want to tell you a story about a client of mine. I saw her in the grocery store and she looked really, really happy. And she looked different than the first time that I saw her. She had lost a lot of weight, but actually the first time I saw her, I didn't actually see her. I heard her. I was sitting in my office with the door open, waiting for her to come in, and I heard this sound. It's a creak, swoosh, creak, swoosh, creak, swoosh. The sound of someone using a walking device coming down the hall. Sure enough, moments later, she's in my doorway with a cane, which she sat over in the corner, fell into my chair with a look of exhaustion over her face, and she said to me, "Erika, I don't know why I'm here. I've done everything else to lose weight, and none of it has worked." And I looked right at her and I said, "I am so glad that you are here. I know exactly what to do." And then we came up with a specific plan just for her, and we did some really powerful hypnosis together. Moments later, she asked me, she said, "Erika, I need to use the restroom." So she went down to use the restroom. And moments later, she's back in my doorway, way sooner than I had anticipated. Our eyes met, and we both had a moment of realization at the same time. She forgot to use her cane. She had been all the way to the bathroom and back, and she had forgotten to use her cane for the first time in 4 years. She had forgotten all of the pain, all of the suffering, all of those painful moments. And that was just the beginning, because from there, week after week, she retrained her brain. Instead of that ice cream, when she went home, she started painting again. You see, she had forgotten how much she loved to paint. So she turned in her ice cream at the end of the day for some paints. Started painting again, started living her life full of joy, and she lost a whole bunch of weight. You see, her brain didn't need that ice cream. It just wanted to feel better. So today we talked about 3 things. First of all, if your brain doesn't need that food, why does it keep popping up? And the answer is conditioning. But the good news is we can retrain the brain to have a better response. Second is a strategy to know when to eat, and for that we have the broccoli test. And lastly, what to do instead. So here's what I want you guys to do. The next time you find yourself staring at your refrigerator, staring at a plate of donuts, I want you to ask yourself, am I actually hungry? Would I eat broccoli? If you would, have something healthy, something that you can be proud of. If not, do something else, anything else. It will free you from the painful cycle of emotional eating.